Maria Shakil. Maharashtra politics has been delivered a major shock, with Sharad Pawar announcing that he will step down as NCP president. He made the announcement during the launch of his memoir. He maintains that he is not exiting from political life and will continue to serve the state and the nation. But this announcement has not gone down well with the NCP cadre, who protested, demanding Sharad Pawar to roll back his decision. While the top leadership of the party is trying to convince him to stay on as NCP chief. In fact, Ajit Pawar, his nephew, has said Sharad Pawar has sought 2 to 3 days to think or rethink about the request from the NCP cadre. At the same time, the top brass of the NCP is in a huddle to decide who will take the reins of the party. This has caught the Aghadi allies off guard as well. The Uddhav camp has said that the nation needs Sharad Pawar's leadership, while the Congress maintains that Pawar's move will not affect the alliance. The BJP is playing the wait-and-watch game, with Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis calling it an internal matter of the NCP. But since the inception of the Aghadi alliance, Sharad Pawar has been the political glue between the three parties. How will this impact the alliance ahead of the state and Lok Sabha elections when facing off with a dominant Shinde BJP alliance? Remember, this also comes after rumors of Ajit Pawar being unhappy within the party and speculation of him jumping ship to the BJP. So what's the road ahead for the Mahavikas Aghadi?
की आपण सगळे एकत्रित पक्षात काम करणार आहोत. मी फक्त पदावर वाजू तुमच्यापासून मी वाजूला नाही. तुमच्या सगळ्या कामाला कार्यक्रमाला तुमच्या बरोबर आहे.
माझा निर्णय आता मी दिलेला आहे, परंतु तुमच्या सगळ्यांच्या आग्रहाखातर मला विचार करायला 2 ते 3 दिवस लागतील. 2 ते 3 दिवस द्या. आपण साहेबांना शेवटी दैवत मानतो. आपलं दैवतच म्हणतंय की 2-3 दिवस द्या. मात्र हे म्हणणे मी विचार केव्हा करीन.
मला तसं वाटत नाही. राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेसचं निर्विवाद नेतृत्व शरद पवारच करतात. किंबहुना जसं शिवसेना हा पक्ष ठाकरे या एका नावावर चाललेला आहे अनेक वर्ष.
पवार जी ने जो आज उनके पद से, उनके अध्यक्ष पद से उन्होंने इस्तीफा दिया है, वो किस कारणवश दिया है ये तो बताना मुश्किल है. जो मीडिया में अजीत दादा पवार के बारे में जो आता था, या उनके परिवार में कुछ हो, या उनकी तबीयत के बारे में हो, ये बात अभी बताने का कोई मतलब भी नहीं है.
व्यक्तिगत फैसला है और राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस का एक आंतरिक मामला है और इस समय उसके ऊपर चर्चाएं भी चल रही है, मंथन भी चल रहा है और पार्टी किस निर्णय तक जा रही है इस बारे में हमें कोई अंदेशा भी नहीं है. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इस पर अभी बात करना ये बहुत प्रीमेच्योर होगा.
And let me go straight to poll-bound Karnataka, where Prithviraj Chavan, former Maharashtra Chief Minister and senior Congress leader, is joining me live. Mr. Chavan, really appreciate your time. You have been an important figure in Maharashtra politics, but someone who has been central to the state's politics is Sharad Pawar. For him to decide not to continue as the head of a political party he founded, what was your reaction when you heard it? Was it like a surprise or a shock?
No, I think it was certainly a surprise. For the last 15 days to almost 1 month, we've been hearing of some disquiet within the NCP. There have been news reports which were neither confirmed nor denied of Mr. Ajit Pawar having flown to Delhi to meet Mr. Amit Shah along with Mr. Praful Patel. This was neither denied nor confirmed by anybody. And so there is a decision of the Supreme Court pending. We are expecting that decision to come after the Karnataka voting, that is after 10th, because on 15th, the two justices retired. So after all this exercise that CJI had gone into about the Maharashtra's disqualification matter, between 11th and 14th, we expect the decision to come. Now that would be a momentous decision because some of us very strongly feel that the Shinde group of MLAs, including Mr. Shinde himself, has violated the 10th schedule of the Constitution. And he can no longer remain an MLA and he can no longer remain a chief minister. So what will happen if that happens? If that doesn't happen, then Shinde-Fadnavis government continues. Even if Mr. Shinde is disqualified, BJP and the remaining Shinde group will still have a majority. So is there a space for somebody like Mr. Ajit Pawar in the new dispensation? So this speculation has been rife for a very long time.
Yes.
And right in the middle of all that discussion, there's one other critical factor which I must mention. I'm in Belgaum now, I'm in Karnataka campaigning here.
Yes.
And I find that almost 40 people of NCP are contesting the election, who are contesting just to divide the Congress vote.
You've made an interesting
Indirectly,
point.
they're helping BJP.
You're essentially saying that NCP is contesting elections in Karnataka to help the BJP and defeat the Congress. Let me go specific in terms of Maharashtra politics. Can you imagine Maharashtra politics without Mr. Pawar? Many saw him as the architect of Mahavikas Aghadi, someone who managed to get ideologically opposite sides in the Congress and the Shiva Sena on the same platform. I mean, and ensured that Uddhav Thackeray would be the chief minister, the Congress would agree to back it. Do you think that there would be no Mahavikas Aghadi without Mr. Pawar?
Let me come here. Maria, you're free to call him architect if you feel. But this is the three-party alliance, and all three parties had to agree to come together to form a joint government. Now, of the three parties, Congress is a national party. Now, we cannot take a decision lightly as a regional party like Shiva Sena or NCP can take. So definitely, it took some time for the Congress party to come to a decision. Mr. Pawar yesterday, in a book on his biography that is released, has commented adversely on the time taken by Congress party to agree to this alliance. I think there's nothing surprising because there is a difference between regional parties and the national party. Having said so, as I said, you are free to call him architect, but this alliance came into being only when all the three parties agreed to come into. Of course, he is the senior most person. He is senior by age, so and we all respect him. But point is, it was not him alone. All of us agreed to come together, and we in the Congress party pleaded very strongly with the central leadership of the Congress party. They were reluctant initially because there were other states involved. So they had to talk to the minority leadership in Maharashtra, in other states, what impact will this alliance have. Ultimately, Mrs. Gandhi and Rahulji agreed to this alliance. Okay. Yes, it is a three-party alliance. And
okay, so you say that Mr. Pawar, of course, was the architect, but the Congress feels that it had an important role to play, and Mr. Chhagan, you yourself had an important role to play. What do you think will happen in Maharashtra politics with Mr. Pawar exiting? Of course, he has said that he isn't really retiring from active politics. Who, according to you, then, is best suited to succeed Sharad Pawar?
No, first of all, the final word on whether he has resigned already, whether that resignation is final, is not out yet. So, entire rank and file the party has risen like one man to request him not to quit his position as a party president. So, we don't know whether this is final decision, although Mr. Ajit Pawar did state emphatically that you must give him his due and he wants to retire, he must be allowed to retire, all that. But all the second level leadership from Praful Patel to Mr. Tatkare, who accompanied Ajit Pawar to meet Amit Shah, and everybody, including Mr. Bhujabl and all these names which have been talked about as a group which may break away and all that, all of them were won today in pleading with Mr. Pawar not to give up his national leadership role of the NCP. So what happens ultimately, we don't know. So the question that you have raised is a hypothetical question based on the fact that, yes, Mr. Pawar is finally and irrevocably resigned as the president of the NCP at the national level. Okay. He himself has very clearly stated that he'll remain in active politics. He'll run out his remaining 3 years of Rajya Sabha term. He'll be traveling all over the place. So has he really given up the presidency? I'm not yet sure. Let's wait for a few days for it to happen.
Fine enough,
but one thing is very clear. Ajit Pawar appears to be isolated within the NCP.
Okay. Mr. Chavan, last question to you. Is this more of an internal battle playing out? Because Mr. Pawar, in this one move, has managed to unite the party, which was for the last few days appearing to be divided. Now it is one party of Sharad Pawar. There's no Ajit Pawar faction or other, divisions which were visible.
Well, I think that is a view which one could take, because there was definitely rumors that a large group of MLAs would follow Mr. Ajit Pawar, provided Mr. Ajit Pawar is made the Chief Minister of Maharashtra by BJP, which I personally find extremely difficult to swallow. And so if 40 MLAs had left with him, of course the party would have been split. So that is now off the table now. First of all, it all depends on what happens in the Supreme Court judgment. If the government goes, then there's a question of new Chief Minister. I personally don't feel it's possible. It will be very strange for Mr. Narendra Modi to accept Ajit Pawar as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. And so that likely split in the NCP apparently is off the table now. I mean, everybody is rallied behind Mr. Pawar.
Yes, visibly.
So that one outcome can be, we can see that outcome has happened. But of course, final chapter is not written yet. Although Mr. Ajit Pawar appears to be isolated in the NCP, tomorrow is another day. We'll wait for what happens tomorrow. But I think as long as all the three parties are together, unless NCP decides to leave MUA is intact, MUA will fight forthcoming elections together, and Mr. Narendra Modi is mortally afraid of facing elections in Maharashtra with MUA together.
All right. Prithviraj Chavan, always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Let me bring in my guests. Syed Zafar Islam is BJP national spokesperson. We have Rakesh Shetty of the Congress, the NCP spokesperson, will be joining me shortly. Sudhir Suryavanshi is the author of book Checkmate. Rashid Kidwai is author and senior journalist. We know what is the reaction of NCP and the Congress. Let me bring in the BJP first on the show. Zafar Islam, Sharad Pawar deciding to say that it's enough is enough as far as him continuing as the NCP chief is concerned. We know how he is liked by your party men. Is it a big disappointment?
Well, let me tell you very candidly. First of all, it is an internal matter of NCP, and we do not want to comment anything about their internal affairs. Whether he wants to continue as the president of the party, whether he wants to step down, give a responsibility to another gentleman or anyone who he feels appropriate to take over from him as a presidentship. Having said that, we will, as an independent party, Bharatiya Janata Party, we will not comment. We don't prefer to comment on internal affairs of another party. But the way another MVA partner, the way Mr. Chavan was commenting about Mr. Ajit Pawar being sidelined, isolated, kind of a statement he was making was totally like he's pushing Mr. Pawar to quit the party, or he's pushing Mr. Pawar to leave the presidency. I mean, it's totally unwarranted, the kind of comment he was making. I mean, that is the differentiating factor between us and the Congress party, because Congress party still feels they are the largest party, they are the nationwide party, even though their presence on the ground is next to negligible. Yet they want to demonstrate something, and this arrogance actually will eventually break MVA for sure.
Okay.
And it is not me,
Okay.
it is the statement which has been made by Mr. Chhagan,
Okay.
who feel that Mr.
Sudhir,
Pawar was not the
Sudhir,
architect. Do you think that anybody other than Mr. Pawar could have stitched this kind of relationship? Nobody could have stitched this kind of relationship.
Yes, that's true.
Except Pawar.
Yes.
Mr. Chhagan has no authority, nor the ability, nor the statesmanship that what needs to be spoken about someone who has done this MVA. I think he should have been given some nice compliment to Mr. Pawar instead of making this kind of a statement. I think it is bound to, even though it's an internal matter of internal affairs of the
but
party.
you
but
are objecting to what the Congress is saying by saying that this is an internal matter. Sudhir, has Sharad
Ma'am, I think
Pawar...
that kind of statement is made.
Yes, has Sharad Pawar managed to checkmate his own party? The reason why I am saying it is that with this one move, the entire NCP is saying that they are Pawar Saab's party.
Absolutely. Pawar, Sharad Pawar, if you see his political acumen, he has earned the name killing many birds in one stone.
Yes.
By,
but how many birds did he kill? One, of course, Ajit Pawar, but who else?
Maybe BJP as well.
Achha.
We don't know how many birds kill when person throw the stone. Later on the casualty, we start counting it and identifying the casualties. So we will, over the period of time, we will come to know who has got killed or who has got checkmated within the party and outside the party. Because this resignation cannot be, message for within the party people. It is, of course, it is a lesson for them, but it is also lesson or message for the outside the people who are eyeing on Ajit Pawar or the major faction of the NCP. So lesson for them ki, entire NCP is with Sharad Pawar.
Yes.
What I see through his resignation, he wants to settle other issues which have been pending within the NCP.
So is he actually looking for succession to be decided, or is this essentially telling his nephew that you have to wait for a little longer to perhaps occupy my chair, because I am very much there. I may have resigned, but the entire party is with me. Those 23 MLAs who could have been seen with you last week, they are standing with me. The moment I'll say that I am gone, I am resigning.
Absolutely. If you see today's moment, many very senior most NCP leaders were just break down. They were very emotional. They were crying. We never see such kind of emotions earlier. So everybody was rallying behind Mr. Pawar. That is one thing. Another thing, succession is a major issue within the NCP. Whether his nephew Ajit Pawar will, carry forward his legacy or his daughter Supriya Sule. So I think that by doing, and announcing his resignation, I think he's likely to pave the way for his daughter Supriya Sule.
Okay.
And unless and until, what I personally as a political, analyst also feel that unless and until she has given the big responsibility or she's stepping in the big shoe, she will not emerge or evolve as a leader. And that is most
So you
important.
are saying that the father has made up his mind perhaps to hand over the reins of the party to the daughter, not the nephew. Okay. Before I bring in Clyde, welcome to News Epicenter. Rashid, why did Sharad Pawar quit and what next for the NCP?
Maria, it was a calculated move. Mr. Pawar would not like to be outwitted the way Mulayam Singh Yadav was outwitted or the way N.T. Ramarao was outwitted. I can understand Mr. Zafar Islam's anxiety. See, Maria, वो मुंह में लड्डू आते-आते रह गया. You know that problem cup
नहीं, but मुंह में लड्डू किसके जा रहा था? मुंह में लड्डू तो किसी... I mean, the mouth wasn't decided even though the laddu was on the table.
Laddu was on the table. That's what I'm saying. So, I don't agree with Mr. Suryavanshi. The crisis is over. Mr. Sharad Pawar has triggered the crisis. The BJP was going to be a gainer and the Congress was a loser. So, that explains Mr. Prithviraj Chauhan's anxiety and Mr. Zafar Islam's enthusiasm.
So, you are saying that this is a controlled blast?
This is I don't know. I don't know the final outcome. Pawar Sahab ne ek apna gola daag diya hai. Now, it is for the NCP because the MLAs were going away. Now, I think, Mr. Ajit Pawar seems to be outwitted whether we do not know the Chacha Bhatija are together or not, because when it comes to Mr. Pawar, nobody knows except for Mr. Pawar. I remember in 1993, Mr. Pawar was the defense minister. He was holding, press conferences, and suddenly nobody knew, even the closest journalists to him, and he became, Chief Minister of Maharashtra. So, see, there is an element of surprise that Mr. Pawar has.
Yes, that unpredictability, Rashid, that you're talking about, it's quintessential old world politician, Clyde. Nobody knew what Mr. Pawar would be doing today, and he has chosen the day of his memoir release to talk about it and the manner in which he said. This is it. Clyde? So, is Mr. Pawar out, or does he have his leg at the door?
Mari, I've been listening to all laddus and things. The last time Rashid Bhai and I had a sort of conversation, you brought truth, and I'm very happy debating with Rashid Bhai. But the fun part is, Sudhir Suryavanshi, my friend, is also, I can't see all because I'm on the phone here. But Sudhir's, articles, we wake up in the morning to know what's happening in our party, right? But the fact of the matter is only in the newspapers, not what is happening outside. But having said that, even we, let me tell you very honestly, we were very surprised and shocked when Honorable Pawar announced that he's stepping down. But the cadre is not happy. The cadre, the emotional outburst that you saw throughout the day, we've asked him to reconsider. But let me tell you what he clearly said. He said that he's stepping down as the president, but he'll continue to be our leader. He'll continue to be a part of the whole political system that is the NCP. And he's going to be our mentor and guide us. So we don't have any problems with that. Only thing is we want him to be our president, continue as our president, because we've all learned from him. We'll continue to keep learning from him. And as to, all the speculations over the last few weeks because of what Mr. Suryavanshi has been writing or what the BJP has been saying, you can go to town and we can speculate, but we don't think that way. What right now, after hearing Mr. Pawar, what he said, like Rashid Bhai said, Rashid Bhai and I get along well. Rashid Bhai said, sometimes only Pawar Sahab knows what he's thinking and why he said that. So it's best for all of us not to delve too much into what he's thinking. He must have taken a decision. But throughout the day, some people said that, he's now left politics.
So,
no.
Clyde, were you also caught by a surprise, just like everybody?
Absolutely. Absolutely, all of us. We never anticipated he would announce that today. We all went there for the publication of his book, and when we heard that, there was an emotional outburst from all of us, including me. He is our mentor. He's the one who we look up to.
Rakesh Shetty, as Zafar Islam, Rashid Kidwai, all of them have issues to what Prithviraj Chavan said on the show. For him to make that assessment the way he did.
No. See, I don't fully agree with Prithviraj Chavan. Sharad Pawar, whatever decision he took today, this is a purely an internal matter of NCP. But we need to understand that Sharad Pawar is one of the stalwart leaders not only in Maharashtra, in this country. He has become the youngest chief minister of Maharashtra at the age of 35. And he has a very long and very successful political life, And we all, across party lines, people respect him a lot. And today what happened was a shock even for Congress workers, because we look up to him. And it was very shocking to see his decision. But just now, while we were talking, Ajit Pawar and Supriya Sule came out and to Yashwantrao Chavan Center. And they said due to this political situation right now, what NCP and the workers have come out, Sharad Pawar is going to make his decision within next 2 days. And I think we should wait and see what will be his next move.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. But Sudhir, I remember Supriya Sule actually say that there'll be 2 blasts in terms of news. Was this one of them?
We suppose that what Supriya Sule has said in Pune, there will be 2 political earthquakes. We suppose that, we believe today's Sharad Pawar resignation as a party president.
So then in that case, the daughter knew about the move of the father.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you are of the opinion that the daughter knew about the move. Was she present? I did not see her there.
Yeah, she was there. She was very much there. Even Ajit Pawar knew all these things, because Ajit Pawar clearly said yesterday only he planned to announce his, make this announcement. But yesterday there was a Mahavikas Aghadi's Vajramut rally was there in Bombay. So therefore he was requested to announce today. So entire Pawar family was, in confidence when the decision was taken. They all were, consulted. Then after that, this decision was announced today. So nobody except the party workers and the leader, Pawar family was very much aware of this entire decision. So I think this is not surprising. Therefore, Ajit Pawar was maneuvering the entire situation and requesting the worker not to be more emotional and respect his decision because of his age and other things also. I think by doing that, Ajit Pawar may be making window for him. We don't know the coming days will tell entire thing.
Okay.
Or we will see other situations.
Okay, Zafar, the fact is that Sharad Pawar has not retired from politics. And if he moves from Maharashtra to Delhi and takes that larger role, the fact is that he can be that glue which can bind opposition parties together. Will he not be a bigger headache for the BJP in that capacity, in that role?
Well, I mean, you cannot discount anything which may happen in the future. But as of now, what is so apparent for everyone, including most of the panelists who are on this show, that MVA is bound to break, because a former chief minister and a member of MVA and the Congress party, the way he was speaking, it was like he was spitting fire against Mr. Pawar and against Mr. Ajit Pawar and NCP party. That only suggests that people who are not even aware of such meeting, which may have not taken place at all, he has speculated about that as well. That only suggests that immature leadership must have troubled Mr. Pawar, because you have asked Mr. Fadnavis, what did he reply? It is their internal affairs. Why we need to comment about it? Whatever has to happen, it will happen. I mean, nobody knows about it. It is for them to decide. It is not for us to decide whether they want to continue with MVA or they want to give presidency to somebody else. But see how Mr. Chauhan was spitting fire. So that is something
but
which
Zafar,
one can
you are also from
based on
Maharashtra.
The statement he has made.
You are also from Maharashtra. The shoes that he leaves behind is huge. I mean, how will you fill in the kind of role that Mr. Pawar used to play in Maharashtra politics?
Well, see, nobody will discount this fact that Mr. Pawar is a very tall leader. Across the party line, everybody will say that he is somebody who has been in politics for 63 years. And everybody acknowledges that he is a very powerful leader and been acknowledged by across in India. Having said that, it is now his age. He must have thought about it that somebody else should be groomed for presidentship, maybe his daughter, maybe somebody else, maybe Mr. Ajit Pawar. Who knows? I mean, that is his discretion and his party's discretion. But he has lived a reputation of a leader who can lead the party from the front.
Okay, go ahead.
That is for him to decide what exactly he wants
this
to
is certainly
pursue.
the next 48
but
hours
he is being troubled by Congress party, something which was very evident.
Yes, the next 48 hours is very crucial in the sense that what will happen for the NCP. Will Mr. Pawar take back his resignation? Will he announce his successor? Will there be an election? There's a lot of uncertainty or uncharted water that NCP is in now. Clyde.
Maria, that's for me.
Yes.
Well, there's no uncertainty. I'll tell you very clear, and hear me out, because I want to respond to the BJP spokesperson also. Hear me out clearly. First of all, Mr. Pawar continues to be our leader. He will always be a leader and a mentor. So he'll guide us through all our journeys. There's no doubt about that. The question here is him reconsidering stepping down from the post of the president of the NCP. Now, the other thing is what Mr. Prithviraj Chauhan said. Fair enough, he said something. He's one of the leaders of the Congress. But as Mahavikas Aghadi, we are very strong together. Now, if the BJP spokesperson says that, one statement is going to affect the Mahavikas Aghadi, my question to you is very simple. A few days back, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis announced and very clearly said that the 2024 elections in Maharashtra will be fought under the leadership of Eknath Shinde, and he is going to be a CM face. A couple of hours later, the president of Maharashtra BJP, Bawan Kule, says that whoever leads the party, that kind of decision will be taken by the BJP's parliamentary board in Delhi. So are we trying to say that the Bawan Kule and Fadnavis do not get along with each other? There is going to be a break within the party. Here you're talking about Mahavikas Aghadi. I'm talking about two completely different statements from two leaders from the same party. That does not happen. Each one sometimes.
So you are essentially saying that what Supriya Sule said in terms of 2 earthquakes, this wasn't one of those. We'll have to still wait for the earthquakes, political earthquakes.
With the opposition party, in the opposition
party. Okay, so it is in the opposition party. हमारे घर में कुछ नहीं हो रहा. Rashid Kidwai, जो भी होगा बाहर के घर में होगा. I mean that. Yes, quickly, Zafar. 10 seconds.
No. I think she has mentioned about 2 earthquakes. And she forgot to mention who will be the victim.
Okay. Fine, Rashid, that those 2 earthquakes that she talked about, the family knew about Mr. Pawar's resignation. Both Ajit Pawar and the daughter knew about it. Rashid, final word to you.
Yeah, I think, Maria, rather than this rhetoric, the outcome will determine everything. It is an open fact that Mr. Pawar's party was getting vulnerable. Whether Mr. Pawar gets an upper hand or not, we do not know, because Mr. Zafar Islam's party, when it gets into the act, since post-2024, we have seen they really know how to do it. The way they kind of outwitted Uddhav Thackeray, we have seen it in various states. So I am saying whatever that Operation Lotus or otherwise, I don't know what the name of this kind of attempt was there, which Supriya is talking about. You see, it will still unfold. That is why.
So essentially, we do not know who has outwitted whom, and if Mr. Pawar actually manages to unite the party, then he has certainly checkmated the political opponents. Thank you so much.
One last thing, Maria. You see, Mr. Pawar is not like Sonia Gandhi, who would go out of the way to kind of crown Rahul Gandhi. He's very pragmatic. And this unfolding of this drama is also showing that.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see whether he takes back his resignation, where he chooses his successor, all that. Too many uncertainties and too many unanswered questions. Rashid Kidwai, appreciate your time. Sudhir Suryavanshi, Clyde, Rakesh Shetty and Zafar Islam. Shifting focus to battleground.